Tomorrow, the State Department of Labor will hold a special job fair for workers of the former Sumitomo rubber plant in the town of Tonawanda.
The facility's closure sent all 1,550 workers to the unemployment line. Town Supervisor Joe Emminger joins us now to talk about the effects this has had on the town and the support available to them. Joe, thank you so much for coming in this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
So since this news came out, you had said that that the town stands with the workers. Since the closure, what have you heard from them?
Well, obviously they're still in shock, like everybody else in the region. We have 1,550 employees. Everybody's concentrating on the town of Tonawanda, but it's actually all of Western New York that's impacted by this. Town of Tonawanda is the industrial core of the hub of the industrial business in Western New York. So Tonawanda gets the impact. We felt it with the Huntley situation when they closed 8 years ago, and now we're going through the same thing again to a much lesser degree, in large extent, but still going to be impacting the town. So they're upset, getting a lot of calls, from employees wondering what Sumitomo is doing, what we knew, what we didn't know. I can tell you, first and foremost, I don't think anybody from the county or the state or the town for certain, they had no idea this was coming. When I got a call on Wednesday night, November 6th, that they were going to be making an announcement the next day they were closing, that's when things hit home real fast. And I could show you a slew of emails and text messages from the state officials, from county officials. We're communicating very good, going back and forth from day one, from the first hour actually, and always with the forefront of the employees and trying to get as much as we can out of them. I've met with Sumitomo officials a few days after they announced the closing. Going to be doing a tour of the plant along with Department of Labor and Empire State Development people later this week. So it's a challenge. It's a challenge, something that isn't going to happen overnight from the reuse of the site, but it's something that we got to start, as we found out with Huntley, Tonawanda Coke. We have to get started, because if you don't start right away, it's just going to sit there for a long time.
One of the reasons why it was such a surprise, a shock when they announced that they would be closing, was their participation in a number of economic development projects through the town, and that includes the town's raw water project, in which they were a key component, one of three companies, industries that were all linked in this chain to bring raw water to industries. There were a lot of question marks. Of course, that was a lot of question marks when this thing closed. Has that been resolved? We're talking about 3M and other companies that are impacted by this.
Yes, the three companies involved, primarily 3M, Evonik, and Sumitomo. And we're having a meeting with them on Wednesday this week. We'll be sitting down with Evonik officials and 3M officials. We're still going forward with the project, absolutely. So it's a project that still has to be done. We've had constant communication from the state on that front as well. And we're trying to figure out right now, with the plant, the Sumitomo plant, will the next user, will they need raw water? Because if they need raw water, then we're still going to have to supply the water to that plant. So there's still a lot of questions open up on that. But yeah, we've been talking to Sumitomo for 7 years now on this project. About this project. And we just got an agreement signed by Sumitomo, I'm going to say about a month ago, 6 weeks ago. And it was a big surprise, obviously, when the evening of November 6th when it came around.
So let's talk about tomorrow's job fair. This has been in the works for a little bit now. What are some of the employers that'll be there?
Oh, well, we have over 100 firms who have signed up to participate in our job fair. Some of the largest firms in Western New York are going to be there. GM, General Mills, DuPont. I hate to leave. There are a lot of others. Rosina Foods, NOCO. So we have a lot of firms that are going to be out there. DuPont. And it's going to be held at our Lincoln Park Athletic Complex over at 1200 Parker Boulevard. And this is the first job fair. There's going to be others. We're going to have one. Next one is scheduled, I believe, for January 12th over at our Lincoln Park Athletic Complex as well. And then we're going to be holding one in February as well, geared more towards the office workers in the plant. So we're doing everything that we can. As others have said, and I have said from the beginning of this, finding 1,500 jobs is probably not going to be our biggest problem. It's going to be finding 1,500 jobs with those salaries, with the income that those people are getting. That's going to be very difficult to accomplish. I'm just being honest with you. But we're trying to get as many people we had great input from companies calling me right from day one, trying to sign up and get it going. Department of Labor has been great. Erie County has been great. We pulled this off pretty quick. And the fact that we have a facility like our newly renovated athletic complex to hold it, that can hold up to 100 companies being able to walk around, that's timing is everything from that standpoint. It worked out well. Otherwise, you know, the Department of Labor was limiting it to 30 or 40 companies. So we were able to tell them, no, use Lincoln Park Athletic Complex, and they thought the site was a great site. They came out and looked at it and said, let's run with it.
Yeah, I mean, to put it in perspective, when Joe texted me the list, it was a text, and it's, you know, very, very long. It's a lot of companies. You know, I'm curious. This is one of many job fairs that we have seen from local industries. You know, we're talking about the Basils, for example. They did a job
They'll be there tomorrow.
They'll be there tomorrow. There's another company that'll be there tomorrow. The town's done it. The state has done it. Other industries have done it. The response from the community and from this region and state has been pretty tremendous to find these folks jobs. Maybe you already answered this in the notion that they're not the same paying jobs, but what's been the response from the workers? Because it seems like they now have at least some options out there.
Well, I think what you're seeing is the initial shock is kind of wearing down a little bit. You know, they're worried about the holidays. Getting laid off, obviously, never a good time to be laid off. Right before the holidays, I can't even imagine, you know, the anxiety and stress that these families are going through. So the shock is starting to wear off a little bit. I have a meeting in about 45 minutes with the Department of Labor. The Commissioner of the Department of Labor is coming in, Commissioner Reardon. We have a meeting with them and the United Steelworkers officials. So maybe I'll find out a little bit more then and find out where everything is going. But you know, right now it's the town is doing everything that we can to support. A lot of it is out of our control, but we're there for the employees. We're there for their families. You know, toy drives. I get asked sometimes about toy drives. You know, for the Sumitomo employees. There are a lot of toy drives going on throughout every community in Western New York, and certainly that's certainly true in the town of Tonawanda. So while one specific toy drive is not designated for the Sumitomo employees, there are toy drives going on in the town of Tonawanda that'll make its way to those families at Sumitomo. And if those families at Sumitomo, if they are in need of toys, you know, you can reach out to the county, the town, you know, and I'm sure that we'll be able to take care of them.